That's a kick out at 2.
All right. Well, here we are. It's Kick Out at 2, and I am Nick, and I am joined. This is a really special Kick Out at 2 because I'm here with a bunch of Dwyers. So Brian is back. He's here. He might not make it for any other episodes because he seems like he's kind of riding on the edge right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good. So, back in 1998, the show WCW Thunder would air a segment called On the Road with Lee Marshall. So Lee Marshall was a commentator where he would call ahead from future local venues where WCW wrestling would be appearing at that week. And he would be calling essentially from a payphone on a highway, and it sounded terrible. And it was the worst thing you could ever imagine. I don't know if they ever did a segment where Lee Marshall was so stressed from being on the road that he was stress eating turkey barbecue sandwiches at Buc-ee's. But that's up right now. So that is like our segment right now.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's just stop. Brian, who else is with you? And do they want to say hi?
No. They want to hear about Lee Marshall.
Who's Lee Marshall?
He's from WCW, Craig. Shut up. Shut up. You my telling.
So I'm guessing you stopped at Buc-ee's, right? That's the big, giant gas station.
We are currently calling from the Buc-ee's parking lot in Rockingham, Virginia, in the middle of a torrential downpour in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So the girls and I are on a little. This was the weekend where we were moving back to Pennsylvania. And in talking with my mother last week, I told her one of the things that I worry about in moving back to Pennsylvania is that I feel like when I live there, everything is a battle, even the small things, which I don't feel like is what my life is like in North Carolina. So, having said that, let's recap the last 24 hours of our attempted to move back to Pennsylvania. Okay? Ready?
Yeah, we are dying to find out what's going on here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yesterday, the moving company from Philadelphia showed up. Now, I had talked to this moving company, which wasn't Steve's moving company, probably about 5-6 weeks ago. The gentleman who I talked to talked awfully fast, very fast, slick fast, if you will. But we ended up coming to an agreement for a certain price where they would send 3 movers, a truck, to do a full house move, which included packaging everything. That was the conversation. Because you know me, I pay for luxury. I don't want to do anything. That's why I work like an animal. Anyway, so the movers show up yesterday at 9 a.m. These movers from Philadelphia, the company Superior Moving, and the look on their face when I told them, yeah, this is a full house move. You guys need to do all the packing. And like, we didn't do anything. Their jaws were on the ground. Their jaws, one of them was really only had 6.5 front teeth, maybe 6 3/4. No, like maybe 6 1/3. But it was not good. It was not good. But
sound good.
They break out an envelope with chicken scratch all over it, read me off 6 items, and say, "No, this is what we are here for."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, gentlemen." I go, "You're here to do a full house move." I talked to the sales office from weeks now, and they're coming down. We have to do you guys are doing all the packing. They said, "Don't take anything out anywhere. Just do the we'll do the packing."
Sure.
And I thought, okay, this is great. And they gave me a very, very affordable number. So I said, this is all great. So in the meantime, they called me. The job was on Saturday. They called me Wednesday or Thursday and said, hey, originally we're supposed to move you Sunday. Can't do that. We need to move you on Friday. And this was, I think, Thursday. I said, what? And they said, yes. I said, we can't do that. we're not ready to move." And they said, "Okay." I said, "We can be ready Saturday and move the date up." And they said, "Okay." So we are accommodating on them not being able to confirm their date. And then they were supposed to send us 3 movers. They sent us 2 with a large truck and a small truck. And the movers are now putting on a show of, "I don't know. I mean, this is this and this is that. And we don't even have boxes. What's a box?" Like, whole thing.
Right.
And blaming the office and like, "Well, this they always do this and this happens and nobody respects our voice and blah 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 blah." Blah. Telling me, "Well, yeah, there was a larger crew down here yesterday. They just went home and we're now here. So I'm calling you because I'm like, hey, have you dealt with this situation before in your history of being a mover?" And you were like, "Yeah, I have. And this is why this is, and this is what this is. But it'll be okay. Just explain to them this, explain to them that, and they'll get started. No problem." Well, 2 hours later of more, "Well, I don't know. We still need to talk to the office, and the owner's not in yet, and nobody can directly get to the owner, and we need to get clearance, and this just seems like such a big job, and we're going to do it." I was like, "Okay, well," as I stare at them blankly, I go, "Gentlemen, there's an agreement here and a contract. Now, the details of this contract have already been screwed up twice in terms of promising me a date and not being able to do the date
Right.
and sending me personnel that I paid for. You're not sending me the right personnel." I said, "So, and now you're
Clearly.
telling me this job's really difficult. We didn't know about it. But if you add $4,200 to the payment, we can probably find a solution." To which I said, "Guys, I'm not going to add $4,200 for a move that was roughly about 3 grand is now going to be 7 grand. Like, that's just not going to happen. Like,
That is
we
what
have a
we
deal
call
here."
that is what we call here at Kick Out of Two preposterous.
Right.
Right.
Sure. So we, they spend more time staring back at me and telling me, putting on all the theatrics of, "Oh, the office always does this, and we can't do it." Blah blah blah. They're stepping into the house, we're stepping out of the house, we're stepping into the house, we're stepping out of the house. They end up coming back in the house and saying, "We don't even have materials. Can you go buy all the materials?" And I said, "No, what? I don't." And I'm like,
No. No, I cannot.
"Why would I buy the materials that we agreed for you guys to bring with you?" And then one of them slipped up and said, "Oh, well, because it was raining yesterday, all of our boxing materials are wet and drenched in the truck."
Ah.
And so I was like, "Okay." And then they tell me, "Okay, well, listen, we're gonna go get the materials, but we'll be back. We'll be back, but we're gonna go get the materials." And
Okay.
I said, "Okay." So then I
There you
called
go.
you and be like, "Hey, this is where we're at. What do you think?" And you said, "All right, we're gonna get some materials. They'll be back." In which I said to you, "They ain't coming back, pal." And I
Right.
said to the kids, as they walked out the door, I turned to the girls and said, "They're not coming back." And the girls were like, "How do you know, Dad?" And I go, "Because I know.
Right.
I know.
'Cause
I
I
know."
know. Yeah.
Wait a half an hour. They call me a little more, "Well, I don't know. I mean, blah, 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 blah." Okay, if you do the packing, we'll come back and we'll load the truck, but we need an additional $1,900 to do that. And I said, "What are you talking about?" And they were like, "Well, all the stuff you have on there isn't on the list." And I said, "Well, it's not my problem that you didn't properly write down what was on the list. Like, this is not." I'm like, "Where is your owner? Where is your owner? Where's the gentleman who did the sale with me, who's the owner of the company?
Yeah. Gentlemen,
I
he
would
said
like his
with heavy
number."
sarcasm.
Yep. And they go, "Well," and then I'm calm and collected the whole time. And so eventually, because they're like, "Well, he isn't in yet," da, 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 I call the office a couple more times. Finally, I get the owner, who carries on to me and tells me, "Mr. Dwyer, this was clear confusion on your part. This was never, you just told us this and you just told us that." And I said, "Mark from Superior Moving, you guys gave me a quote with the wrong date. You guys gave me a quote with the wrong personnel. And now you're telling me that I'm the one who, like, of these things, I'm the one who got the list wrong too of was coming and going and what packaging is. And they said, well, he tried to explain to me, it doesn't say on your quote pre-packaging included. And I said, no, it says moving services included. And he said, well, that's moving services. That's not packaging. And I said, how am I supposed to know that? I don't work in the moving business. All packaging and moving to me would be under moving services. To me, again, I am very green. I am a greenhorn in this business. How am I supposed to understand that? And he said, well, if you look at your email for your confirmation, and I said, okay, what was the date that you sent it to me? He said, June 13th. I went and looked because I know I didn't get an email from him.
Right.
And I said, I don't have an email. And he said, no, it was sent on June 13th. I said, I don't know who you sent it to, but you definitely didn't send it to me because I don't have anything on June 13th from you guys, regardless of what any of my email addresses. There's nothing here, even in the spam. Well, we sent it. Okay, what's the email address? Well, that doesn't matter. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Well, that
right.
does matter.
Yeah, a little bit.
He goes back to it doesn't. He goes all the while. He goes, Mr. Dwyer. I went back and listened to the tape of our conversation. At no point did we say that there's pre-packaging included. And I'm thinking, you guys didn't have tape. There's no tape of conversation. No, no, you're just making this all up as you go to just
Right.
cover your own asses. Because if you would have been back and been like, oh yeah, I also said there were three guys, and there wasn't three guys. And oh yeah, I told you to do Sunday. You can't do Sunday. So like, what are we doing here? Like, so ultimately, he tells me, why would I even pay for pre-packaging of all the years of them doing this? Only the filthy rich pay for pre-packaging,
What?
and he's never really seen that. And I said, I don't. What is that? What are we talking about?
You know how people
And he
lie about
starts to
stuff?
tell me about how he's losing money on this if he were to do it. And I'm like, that's not my problem. You have an agreement with me to do this. And I said, this has been a terrible experience, Superior Moving. You have made moving, which is already difficult, even worse, Superior Moving. So for me, like, I don't know what to tell you. And he said, you're a terrible experience. And then he goes off on me about how his drivers and his staff are completely put out. And how did I not understand? I seem like a a person who's smart. How could I not understand that packaging wouldn't be included in the quote? Again, I was like, Mark, I don't know your business. And he said, how could you think I could give you that type of quote for that type of money? And I said, Mark, I don't know what the parameters of this business is. So I just asked you, and compared to other companies who I talked to, it seemed like a really great quote. That's all. And I said, so I can't sit here and tell you. Like it was sort of around the range where everybody else told me. So I can't tell you what your business model is. I don't know what your business model is. And he said, I did this isn't gonna work, it's not gonna work out. Anyway, fast forward, we spend Saturday running around like maniacs. Now, we don't spend Saturday running around like maniacs. In truth, and honest to God truth, it took myself and my two teenage daughters a concentrated like 4 hours to get the whole thing packed.
Right.
Like that's you know what I mean? You know what I mean? With us, it was like start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. But like when we locked in, you would just run through the whole thing. It was me and my two teenage daughters.
Yeah.
So don't sit here and tell me that they couldn't have done it, right?
They
You know
certainly
what I
could
mean?
have. They certainly could have.
Yeah.
Here's what happened.
And then
They had a truck down south that was running early. They sent extra guys, they got done, and they were like, oh, we can offshoot two guys to get to your job and then get the rest of the guys back to get to another big old job that they're going to make a lot of money on. And they were hoping to just squeak through your job and like get it done fast. And it just didn't happen. And he was like, well, look, if you get there and we can't just, snap through it, just get the hell out of there. Don't even worry about it. Like we're not doing it. So I mean,
right,
like they wanted to do the job. They wanted to make a little bit of money coming back empty because truck's going to be empty coming back from down south. But they that's always in the back of their heads. Like we can just not do the job. That's also good.
right, great, awesome. You know what I mean? Beautiful. Makes my life so much easier. So anyway, I had talked to Steve probably about a month and a half beforehand, and I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, "What do you think about this for a quote?" And he was like, "That's a good quote." He was like, "I can only give you this." And he gives me a number, and I'm like, "Okay." So I go with the other company. So now I have to come back to Steve, hat in hand,
Mhm.
like Adam Sandler. "You're so smart. I'm so dumb. You're so pretty.
Yeah,
I'm so ugly."
you are so good looking. I am not attractive.
Yeah, yep, like the whole thing,
Mhm.
and the whole hat in hand. And
Yeah.
Steve, to his credit, just goes, "Oh no, we can help you, buddy." All the while knowing that he's just
Oh.
middle fingering the phone.
Oh. Oh, he's just like, "Oh, this guy."
Deservedly, deservedly so.
Like, I
Okay.
can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so glad he's not here now because
Mhm.
I want him to have all week to formulate his "I told you so's"
Yeah.
so that he can come on here
Oh,
next week and be like, "This guy."
so he already he already started it. I put a Facebook post of Charles in a box on said moving day, and then underneath he puts, "That's not what I heard." It's phenomenal. Anyway, so that was that. Also, I'm like, okay, we need to go get I need to go get gas in the car for tomorrow. Go to Costco, pull out the wallet, look in the card. I lost my credit card. No idea where my credit card is. Gotta cancel my credit card. All right, fine. Right? Nuts. So have that, do that. Just okay. All right, just one more thing.
Yeah,
Just
okay,
one
alright.
more sideshow Bob stepping on a shovel. Sure, no problem. Stepping on a rake.
Rake.
No problem. Right?
Yes.
So everything I'm doing in the house, put something in a trash bag falls apart. I mean, it's just the whole thing, right?
Just cascades.
So then I'm running like garbage to the dump so I don't have to put it all out in front of the house. And then I'm also running extra stuff to Goodwill because it's both like 8 minutes from the house. So it's no big deal. So it's like going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth. And I'm like, all right, why don't I driving to Pennsylvania in a car that stinks like garbage and old clothes? So I go and get the car completely clean from top to bottom, like the whole thing top to bottom, which is fantastic, right? We go this morning, we wrap everything up, we get on the road, we start driving. We get on at exit 35,
Uh,
we go to exit 42. We pass exit 42, it starts to rain.
uh-huh.
I hit the wipers to, for the rain.
Mhm.
The wipers go, no wiper blades, just extensions back and forth. The car wash, the fans on the car wash, I didn't realize were so powerful, they blew the blades off of,
Off
like, the
the car.
blades were gone.
They're just gone.
Gone. Yeah, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Like, so gone. Gone,
So,
gone,
is
gone,
this just,
gone.
like, scraping over your windshield back and forth?
No, because that's the hardware was gone too. Everything was gone.
The
I have no idea. The only thing were the actual like the arms, the
Yeah.
hardware, all of it's gone. I don't know. Maybe somebody stole them. I have no idea. No idea. Gone now. So I'm like, I turn around, another sideshow Bob right to the face. I slowly turn around, go back down on AutoZone. Yeah. Go right back down on AutoZone. Gentleman gonna buy two blades. Gentleman comes out, tries to help me put it on. He's like, "Oh, I don't know if we have the hardware to in the store to with the right blades, the right hardware to put all this in." I'm like, oh, I'm like Jesus, shake, yeah, like just like just right. So then he goes into the store. He's able to figure it out, and he comes out. Does a great job at AutoZone in Statesville, North Carolina. It was a great job. So then, or in Troutman. So then we get on the road. I pull up the map. 81, just red and yellow all the way up.
Oh.
All the way up, right to the face. Like just like it's just like so like man, we get we start to go to like they just put this Buc-ee's in Rockingham, Virginia. And if you've never been to a Buc-ee's, it is like if Walmart and your local like Wawa or Speed store or whatever Sheets had a baby, that's what this thing is. It is just pure American gluttony. All it's
Yes.
absurd what it is.
Yep. Like they
It's
have the
what it
beef
is.
jerky deli counter and
Yes,
the brisket. They're just making briskets all day, all night for
all day long.
sandwiches.
Like
And
I asked Claire if we could just wait around to get the brisket guy's autograph. She was like, "No, no, get in the
so
car. What is
stupid.
wrong with?" So we get out. We're like, "Oh my god, this is great." It's got the Buc-ee's. Claire's like, "I want to get a photo of the statue." I'm like, great. You
Yeah.
look over, and in Virginia, it's all open. It's just black, jet black cloud. Had it right to Buc-ee's, and it opens up Hollywood rain style, just like sideways, just
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Oh,
It just
that's why you're
encapsulates the
sitting
whole.
in the Bucky's parking lot because you have no windshield
Yeah.
wipers.
No, no, no. We got windshield wipers on.
Oh,
We got windshield wipers taken care of at the AutoZone in Troutman, North Carolina. They're fantastic. But like it's like we can't drive right now. Like we're eating and it's like insane rain and like I'm about to record a podcast, Lee Marshall on the road segment. So like, that's where we're at. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at.
okay.
That's what our day is.
So you're gonna be on the road for a little while yet, huh?
Yeah. So girls, do you have anything you want to contribute here?
Watch Love Island finale. He's parking lot for an hour now.
Well, you can start
Yeah.
driving. I don't
Um,
mind. I can
Charles
talk.
is good too.
Oh yeah. Charles is here and the girls it's just 4.5 hours before and the girls screaming at each other and volleying Charles back and forth in the car
Yes. Yep.
because this little bastard dog just can't sit down.
You got to get rid of that dog. Yeah.
I said,
He's an angel. He's been sitting with me for 3 hours because he just doesn't want him back there. So that's why he's up here with me.
Mhm.
He's out here with me. Well, now he's back
you
here.
say?
There
You
they
gonna
go.
say?
There they
I
go.
literally can't
Mhm.
go back here. There's freaking boxes.
Yeah.
It's just be and
Yeah.
keep straight up.
Well, fight
Me
nicely,
too.
kids. Listen,
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
I'm
And I'm
so
so
glad.
big.
I'm
But
so
you
glad we
again.
waited to do this until
Mm.
later in the day. I was at my niece's graduation party at Kyle's house last night, and I forgot that like I'm 45, and so when you go to a graduation party, you just have you have a few drinks, and then you watch a soccer game, which is boring, and then that's it.
Mm.
Like that's the end. Like the young people are all out at the pool and playing cornhole and hanging out, and not us. So
Mm-mm.
so Kyle convinces me to stay over because my cousin's gonna stay over, and we're gonna drink some bourbon and tequila and kind of get goofy, and
Terrible idea for future Nick. Terrible idea for future Nick.
yeah.
Like,
So we just we we thought we would do that. We didn't. We watched soccer, which is the most boring sport on the planet. And then we watched UFC, which was awful again. And then we just went to sleep. And well, I say went to sleep, but I laid on Kyle's couch in I think the only room in his house that doesn't have an air conditioner in it. And these teenagers were up until about 5:30 in the morning. And then at 6:30 in the morning, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm never going to be able to sleep." So I just got up. It I am just a mess today. Like if
yeah.
if it was 11 o'clock, I was gonna be like, guys, I don't care. I quit. We're not doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not happening. So
Mm-hmm.
Kelly was like, just hold on. Let's go put some food in you,
Yeah.
and then we can just relax. She let me snooze on the couch for a little bit. We had lunch. I feel a little better, but it's going to be an early one for me. I got to edit this thing. I have to edit out all of the name dropping you did about your bad moving company experience.
Are we
Uh,
sure we have to? Do we? Because that's my truth.
it
That's my
is
truth, Nick.
it is true, right? So it's not
And
like
I didn't. There's nothing in there that's slanderous. I didn't say they showed up drunk or they didn't show up high. I literally just said case for case, point for point, my truth.
all right, because every time you said their name, I was like, marking down the time so I can go
Yeah.
back
No.
through and edit,
No. I didn't.
leave
I
it.
didn't slander them in any way. They're. What are they going to argue? We didn't send the wrong amount of people. We didn't ask you to move the wrong date. We did do the move. No, they didn't. They didn't do any of those things.
The cute
We
thing is,
offered absurd counters for the situation. They did all of those things.
and I'm really cute because I think at some point one of them is going to hear this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
They used the phrase we rolled back the tape. We listened to the tape of the recording. That's a phrase they use in 2026.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they spell podcast with a K. I think we're okay.
Yeah. One of my cousin's kids was trying to write down a phone number and she forgot what a zero looked like. I just stared like, what? She's like, which one? I'm like, this one.
William,
This one.
we got it back on the road though. Okay?
Yes, sir.
This sandwich is so good. A Buc-ee sandwich is so good.
They know.
No,
They can tell.
Right. We've been there, buddy. We know.
we will check in next week on Sunday. I'll be on the call Sunday. We'll cover everything, all bases. We'll finish the rest of the story. Gonna be fine. And then we'll go from there.
Sounds good. I will continue to regale people with these stories, and just complain about how much I hate sports right now.
What? Why?
No, you think I should just
No.
end it and move on, and we'll talk
I
next
can't.
week?
I'm getting slapped by the kids. They're like, shut up and go.
Oh my god!
Like,
Oh my!
it's like, I have to watch Love Island. Please shut up.
All right, get out of here.
My phone.
See? All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you.
Bye.
Cullen doesn't want to come on. Bryn just got done finished cooking, so she's super tired. And Brian has got to get on the road. So we're going to cut it. All right. You guys are off the hook early this week. All right. Wait for next week. We're going to have Steve. We're going to have Brian. Maybe we'll get Cullen. Maybe we'll get Bryn. We'll have a big episode next week. Hit us up at Kick Out at 2. Like and subscribe.